Good evening, all of you. Good to see so many people attending this session. Thanks, Pranav and Santosh, for making this happen. So, first of all, thank you very much for taking out time. I understand this is a very critical juncture for all of you, and most of the students who have finished class 10th CBSE exams, they must be looking forward to what next. And those who are yet to write the Karnataka State Board exams must be worried about exams plus what to do next. So there are two things to worry about for you students. But I think at the same time, it is also necessary to know what are the options available in front of you as soon as the board exams are over. So board exams may happen anytime in May or June, whenever it happens. But thereafter, there is a critical step, there's a critical decision-making box where you need to decide what next. And I'm sure you're already flooded with advices, ideas about what should you be doing, what you should not be doing. Okay. And typical advices, I know how you get advised. So typical advices would be, if you get great marks, you should take up science. If you get a little less marks, you should take up commerce, and so on. So these are the typical ways that people advise you to look at careers. But unfortunately, those are not the right ways to select, make career decisions. So career decisions are much more than the marks that you get in certain exams. Career decisions are very long-term choices. Of course, your career would keep changing over a period of time, which means that if you decide to do electronics engineering, you will not retire as an electronics engineer. Over a period of 30, 40 years, a lot of things are going to change in your interest and also in terms of career opportunities that are available in the market. So now let's see what best we can do from this session today, and let me give you some ideas and get you thinking. Okay, I'm going to just leave you with a lot of thoughts, a lot of options, which will get you thinking in the right direction. I will not give you a golden formula to select from. That is not the objective of the session. Yeah, so typically people make choices between science, commerce, arts. These are the three options that people talk about, and we have been talking about this since decades. And the most common myth is that if I opt for science, I end up doing something in that area for the rest of my life. If I take up BCom, I become an accountant and retire as an accountant. So these are the common myths that people have. But let's explore and debunk many of the myths today. So are you all aware that whatever decisions you're taking today and whatever thought process you have in your mind, these are based on current situation, current scenario. You're looking at job opportunities which are currently available in the market. But unfortunately, the kind of jobs that are available today will cease to exist after 8 to 10 years. So by the time you really graduate and you gain some work experience, these jobs are going to vanish. So you're preparing for careers which will not exist in the future. How many of you want to be successful? To become successful, I'm going to tell you three rules, three golden rules, which will help you become successful. This is from a movie. I'm sure all of you can relate to this.
वो शैतान रैंचो अब भी तुम्हारे दिमाग से खेल रहा है।
मुझे नहीं समझ आती इंजीनियरिंग। बन भी गया ना तो बहुत खराब इंजीनियर बनूंगा अब्बा। रैंचो बहुत सिंपल सी बात कहता है, जो काम में मजा है उसे अपना प्रोफेशन बनाओ, फिर काम काम नहीं खेल लगेगा।
अरे कमाओगे कितना उस जंगल में?
मसला इतना ज्यादा नहीं है, लेकिन सीखने को बहुत कुछ मिलेगा।
5 साल बाद जब अपने दोस्तों को गाड़ी खरीद के अपना घर बना के देखोगे तो आपको कोसोगे।
इंजीनियर बन के फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाऊंगा, जिंदगी भर आपको कोसूंगा। बेहतर यही ना कि मैं अपने आप को कोसूंगा।
अरे हंसेंगे लोग, कहेंगे कि फाइनल ईयर में आके छोड़ दिया।
This is a typical example of irrational decision making. You don't drop out of a course after completing 4 years and pursue your passion. That is problem number one, which I identified. Problem number two, you have to look at job opportunities. Unless you're born with a silver spoon and you really don't care about money, I think you have to be practical. So let's say I want to become a wildlife photographer, or I want to become a guitarist, and there are hardly job opportunities available. So how am I going to earn my bread and butter? I think that is what you have to practically think about. There might be a few opportunities. You might become a super guitarist, but only a few guys are going to make it. What about the rest? What are the opportunities for them? Are there jobs for them? Are there employment opportunities for them? If there are, how much do they earn? What are the average compensations that they earn in the market? You have to be realistic. For example, again, taking this wildlife photography scene, taking it a little forward. Now, let's say you drop out of your engineering or you drop out after your PUC and you become a wildlife photographer and you work in the jungles for 5 years, 6 years, and then you realize that you're not making enough money to even sustain a proper living. And by the time you realize this, you're already 25 plus. And you then decide that you need to get into a conventional career. So the life is going to be more difficult that time. But the other way around is possible. Let's say you complete a proper program where there are career opportunities and you work for a few years and then decide to become a wildlife photographer. Even if things go wrong, you can always come back to your career. I want to become and why? What do I want to become? I think that is the first question you should have in your mind. As per psychology, people are exploring careers right from the age of 16 years until the age of 35 years. So what is required to get a job and become an entrepreneur? Let's check that. In case you want, in both the cases, you require a great education, you require specific skill sets. So there are two ways of deciding what to do with your career, a logical method and an illogical method. I showed you the illogical method from that movie just a while ago. And the other illogical methods are doing what your neighbors are doing or your best friend is doing or what your cousin is doing. I think that is a very illogical method of doing things. Let me stop this video. Yeah. So logical method, let's discuss logical method. So logical method would be dependent on what's your budget, are the courses that you are interested in available in your city, what kind of institutions are available in that domain, what are the career prospects, and is it a broad foundation? I mean, can you do a lot of things in case you change your mind later on? So this is a typical Maslow's need hierarchy pyramid, which I was telling you about some time back. That first make sure you have a financial cushion before jumping into uh, doing whatever your passion is. Uh, we are not in a race to join any college. I mean, there are so many plethora of options available in colleges and universities. So there is no competition to join university. About 30-40 years ago, the competition was to join college. I mean, the colleges itself were limited that time. So there were very few universities and colleges available at anybody's disposal. So people used to compete to get into a college, right? Today, the competition is not to get into a college. There are colleges available everywhere. In your neighborhood, there might be a dozen colleges at least. But the competition today is to join the college, the right college. There is a difference between. Today is doing well because uh, we have the best of institutions which were laid 50 years, 60 years back. So why top colleges? This is the question that I'm going to answer here. So the kind of job that is offered to a student from a top college is drastically different from for a student from a tier 2 or a tier 3 college, right? So now I'll also show you what happens in terms of difference in value due to electrical engineering, chemical engineering, electronics engineering, and so it's evolving and it's going to evolve further in future. Beat careers if you're interested in. We have got filmmaking, VFX, which I spoke about in the earlier slides. So this is what I was talking about when I said crisscross in career options. So these are some examples of successful people. Chetan Bhagat, which I was talking about, regarding whom I was talking about, IIT Delhi and IIM Ahmedabad graduate, and who has worked in investment banking and then moved to writing books. Preeti Shenoy, a very famous author again. I'll quickly run through this. If you do chartered accountancy, three successful people I thought I will show. One is Nainalal Kidwai, who is a BA Economics and a chartered accountant and an MBA from Harvard, who is the CEO and country head of HSBC India. The second one is Divya, an Indian again, who is with General Motors as CFO, who is an MCOM and a chartered accountant and a chartered financial analyst. CFA is awarded by the CFA Institute, United States, and she is also an MBA from Harvard Business School. TV Mohandas Pai, who is a well-known figure, ex-Infosys VP HR, who is the current chairman of Manipal Global Education, BCom LLB Chartered Accountant. These are some successful engineers who studied in BITS Pilani, NIT, IITs. I'm sure you have seen most of their faces in news. Astrophysics, if you're interested in space, some successful people. Economics. So if anybody told you that BA Economics is a waste of time, you must see these slides. There are many more. I just thought I'll just show 3 examples. Animation and VFX, some sample movies. Law, in case law interests you. Learn.